Obviously, after the tough loss, how do you approach that when you come to the next practice? Obviously, something's got to be said. I mean, do you try to make it known that it's important that we got to be better?
Yeah, I think right after the game is no use. They feel bad enough, and then in the next couple of days, I mean, you got to go over and get all your corrections, and they got to see it on tape there, and you got to just keep on demanding the fundamentals. And it gets to a point where if you don't do the fundamentals, you got to be replaced. You got to get somebody else in there. So they're going to have to understand the sense of urgency, and it's coaches and everybody. I mean, that's just the way it is. But I think the biggest improvement will be between the first and the second week.
In this particular season, you've had the Big Ten teams before, but it was a tough loss to Michigan. They really dominated in the first half. But now to have the Indiana game to really get some redemption, is that a good thing, you think?
Well, I think anytime, the second game's always the one. It's just another thing. It's a Big Ten going down to the Big Ten Stadium, and how they're going to react now. I mean, of course, it won't be the size of the crowd that we had this past week, but it's still Big Ten football. The facilities and everything they got down there, and it's just natural. What we're doing is that Western. I mean, that's how we got to do things. So that the schedule's there, and we got to go out there and go play it. And I sure hope that we can go out there and just cut out the little mistakes that really cost us in the game.
No matter who you're playing in game one, is it difficult to get focused on the speed and get used to that type of speed, no matter who's on the other side, just because it's an actual game?
Well, it's who we played too. I mean, it's when you look at it, we played Virginia when we were ranked 25, and Indiana when that was right before they went to the bowl game, and then we went to West Virginia, and then one time they were #1 in the country, and go to Nebraska and Bo Pelini and his crew, and the first game, and then we go to Michigan, 110,000, and all the allegations over there, and then the bad season last year. I mean, we've kind of run into it, but I mean that's it's never going to change here. So you got to try to go out there and prepare for it. I thought we were close, but we got a lot of young kids that didn't understand the magnitude of how fast the game is, and then when they got used to it, it was too late.
When something like that happens and they score a lot of points, is that kind of the best way for them to learn?
Yeah, I think what you got to do is be real positive on the sidelines and in the locker room, and get those guys to just understand, hey, this is what we're talking about. Okay, let's see where you're at, and then they'll try to go out there and prove that hey, I can play at this level, at this fast. But it's too after on Saturday or on Sunday, you just say it's too late. We should have been doing what we did in the second half and the first half. So just another lesson learned.
How are the preparations going for Indiana? I mean, obviously it's early on.
Well, it's a little bit easier because you got a little more background. Like defense, we couldn't show them any defense from last year against Michigan, and you kind of hope that what he did at Syracuse, but they're not the same people. And offensively, they got a new quarterback. How they're going to react and stuff like that. So in this one here, at least you got one game in there, and you got something to show those kids with more visual than you would have the first game.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.